sadly, again and again, we see such a huge difference between the impact that is being reported and the reality of what's happening on the ground. I'm Nathan. I'm a climate and LGBTQI2S+ activist growing up in a pretty rural area in a village in the Alps. I was always amazed by, the beauty of nature and the beauty of our nature environment. But at the same time, very early on, I noticed the effect of the climate crisis on the mountains, on the use of water, on the issues around farming. And I was always really struck how at the European Union decision-making processes, we would always talk about climate crisis as something that is far away and that only happens in countries that are the most impacted. But of course, at home, it is a reality. And we already have millions of climate migrants. And so we found that only 0.76% of most of the climate funding would go to youth movements, despite the incredible power and the incredible work that youth climate movements have been able to do since 2018. Even before that, but especially in 2018, when we played such an essential role in the European Green Deal in Europe, for example, but also, most recently the Inflation Reduction Act in the US. Our theory of change is that we are not able to make progress on climate outcomes because we haven't paid enough attention to the social justice component of the climate crisis. And we have continuously continued to push for better policies around climate action without making sure that these would be redistributive, especially to those that will be the most impacted by the climate crisis, but also the green transition when you think about workers, young people who are based in communities that are heavily dependent on the fossil fuel industry. And so to get to a world that is not only greener, but also fairer, we think that is essential to harness the power of young people to hold policymakers accountable on their promises, because sadly, the climate crisis is such that we need to make sure to invest so much in young people right now so that they are ready to make the decision that often will be even more difficult than in the past, given the rapidity and the harshness of the climate crisis right now.